Alabama won the SEC and clinched their spot in the college football playoff. After a slow start on the season, the Tide really picked it up and proved they belong in the top 4. They played excellent football on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball and are producing some future top picks for the NFL. One of the guys who has had a stellar season for Alabama is cornerback Terrion Arnold, a guy who was a sleeper for some people coming into the year, but has now played himself into first round and potentially CB1 conversations, and today we'll be talking about what makes him such a fun prospect. But hey guys, this is my 12th and final video over the last 4 days, and so much work has gone into making all of this possible. If you guys enjoy NFL draft content like this, consider hitting that like button, ring that notification bell so you never miss a video, and subscribe if you are new. This has been a extremely busy weekend, and if you guys like this, I've got another week coming with just as much content, so stay tuned for that. But let's take a closer look at Terrion Arnold. In 2022, Arnold flashed some potential, but he didn't have a ton of numbers to back it up. He allowed 28 receptions for 383 yards and 2 touchdowns. While he did have an interception, he wasn't one of the top pieces of that defense, and he really needed another year to show that he belonged. And in 2023, he did just that, grading as PFF's 9th ranked corner on the year. He allowed 38 receptions, 419 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the year, but had 5 interceptions and allowed a 51.3 QBR when targeted, which is absolutely fantastic. He also played nearly 100 more snaps than he did in 2022, and his numbers were miles better than they were last year. Arnold has really good size. At 6 foot, 196 pounds, he has the ideal frame that you want in a starting boundary corner. He has long arms, good weight, and is tall, which are all things you look for on the outside. Arnold is also an excellent mover for the position. He has good speed for the position, rumored to run in the 4.4s, but on top of that, he has super flexible hips. In zone coverage, he does an excellent job of reading the quarterback's eyes, and because of his flexible hips, he has the ability to close on the ball. His hips are so flexible, and he has an elite change of direction, which I really like. I also loved what he showed in man coverage. Arnold has the speed to match up with guys down the field, but on top of that, he has a really good initial punch at the line of scrimmage. He is pretty physical with receivers down the field, and sometimes he can be a little too physical and grabby and get penalized for it, but you guys know I love physical corners, so that is an area that I am definitely going to highlight with Terrion Arnold. And there are a couple of areas of Arnold's game that I think need to improve, and coincidentally, some of them result from one issue. Arnold has to improve on his play strength. As a tackler especially, it shows. He does not do a very good job of wrapping up, and there were many times when players were able to break tackles on him or just push him off. Another place his lack of play strength shows is when he is trying to shed blockers. He really struggled to disengage and was even sometimes pushed off his feet and off balance as a result. He has to get stronger in order to be as successful as he can be at the NFL level. Arnold could also improve on his recovery speed. While he has good recovery quickness, the recovery speed isn't exactly there. Sometimes if a wide receiver is able to get a step on him or is able to break free, Arnold does not necessarily have the closing speed necessary to close on the football and break it up. This is an area of his that I think could improve, and it is something that I want to see get better for him. Arnold is a guy who I liked coming into the year, and he has done nothing but improve his draft stock for me. I think ultimately he is my cornerback 6. This class has some really solid CBs, and some guys are constantly moving up and down my board as I do evaluations. The lack of closing speed and the lack of really great play strength push him down a little bit on my board, but he is my number 38 player in the class. In terms of a scheme fit, the beauty of Alabama's defense is they train their guys to be extremely versatile in the secondary. He can play zone coverage, he can play press man coverage, he can play off man coverage. I think Arnold will thrive in any defense at the NFL level and can be successful anywhere due to having played so many different types of defenses for Nick Saban. My player comparison for Terrion Arnold is Tre'Davious White. They both are nearly identical in terms of size, and both have the ability to play anywhere. Tre'Davious White has lined up in the slot, on the outside, can play zone, can play man, and when White was coming out of LSU, we had nearly identical concerns about his tackling and his play strength, but White made up for it due to his pretty solid size and his elite coverage abilities. When White is healthy, there's no question he is one of the top cornerbacks in the NFL. I think Arnold has a lot of similarities in his game. They are both pretty physical guys who have good speed and can match up with anybody on the field. I think Arnold and Tre'Davious White have a lot in common. Terrion Arnold is terrifying for opposing wide receivers. He is physical, he is fast, and he can make some big plays for your secondary. I think he has the potential to be a first-round pick, but I ultimately see him being picked in the second round. Ultimately, I think Terrion Arnold will be a top 45 pick in the 2024 NFL Draft.